This tree or shrub is hawthorn, and there's the Midland hawthorn or the English hawthorn. Doesn't matter which one you've got because we use them both interchangeably. And at this time of year you get these beautiful red berries hanging in clusters that look like jewels. They look like fairy lights brightening up the hedgerows, and they really are jewels in the crown. They're so beautiful as medicine and as food. In fact, they're one of the best cardiovascular tonics that nature gives us. It's just so powerful, its effects that it has on supporting the heart and the circulation and the blood vessels. It's in the rose family as well, so all plants in the rose family act upon the heart both physically and emotionally. They've got a real association with other worlds and fairies. Legend has it if you fall asleep under one on Midsummer's Eve you get taken away by the fairies. I've never managed to yet. They're actually really rich in pectin, or the hawthorn berries, or the haws, so they're brilliant for jam making because they really help to make it set. They make a really lovely tea as well if you just stand them in a teapot with some boiling water. Tea to make your heart sing. So it's lovely to work with these berries at this time of year. You can make them into ketchups, chutneys, you can make them into fruit leathers. Today we're going to make it into a hedgerow cider vinegar, which is going to act as a winter supportive, immune boosting tonic to see us through the winter. So this here is a beautiful specimen of a plant called Japanese rose, which is closely related to the dog rose, which we saw up there, but it's different with the flowers. They're a beautiful vivid magenta colour. The hips are much more round and plump, not as elongated, but we use it in exactly the same way, and it's got the same properties and the same benefits. So let's get some of these, because these tend to be ready a little bit sooner as well. They go nice and soft a little bit earlier than the dog roses. When they're really squishy, they're too far gone then, like that one. So, and you can see there's some that aren't even ripe yet, so we've got a whole range on this bush. Here we are, these are nice ones. Perfect. Look at this magnificent sloe or blackthorn bush, and in fact this hedge is just full of sloes all the way down, and it's an exceptionally good year for them. I've never seen as many on the shrubs. I just wanted to point these out because often people know about them being used for gin, flavouring, sloe gin, but there's so many more uses that you can, that they have. Like all the autumn fruits of this time, they're rich in vitamin C especially, but other vitamins as well, which act to boost the immune system. So I always put them in my hedgerow tonics, my hedgerow elixirs, the hedgerow vinegar we're going to make today. We'll definitely have some of these in. You need to wait till the first frost has been to harvest the sloes, similarly to the rose hips, but you can always pick a batch and put them in the freezer to mimic that first frost to help ripen them up. This tree here is rowan, also known as mountain ash. If you look at the leaf and you know what ash looks like, you will see that it's a very, very similar leaf shape. It's opposite pairs of leaflets, serrated edge, hence the name mountain ash. Completely different tree though to ash. I was always taught as a child that the berries are poisonous, but they aren't. In fact, they're a really great food and medicine. You'll see that if you look closely that they've got a 5-pointed star at the bottom, which most things in the rose family have on them, but that was in days gone by thought to link this tree to witches. So I was always taught as a child that the berries are poisonous, and yes, that is important to not eat anything or pick anything unless you are 100% sure that you've got the correct identification and you know it is safe to consume. But I'm a bit sad that I was taught that it's poisonous, because it's actually a really useful food and a really useful medicine. It's rich in vitamin C, it boosts the immune system, it's good for building up strength and energy for if you're convalescing or you're debilitated after an illness. Really good for helping regain strength and vigour. So here we've got some apples. It could be crab apples, could be a wilding, which is a tree that's grown from a discarded apple pip that someone has strewn, some school child has strewn to one side. So they've done a good deed, because we've got a couple of beautiful apple trees now. We've got so many apple trees growing wild in the hedgerows, in the parklands. Some of them are eating apples, some are crab apples, but we can use crab apples. They're a little bit tart, they do need cooking or making into something like the hedgerow tonic, the hedgerow cider vinegar, which we're going to use today. And they bring so many health benefits. They're great for the digestion, they're great for the lungs as well, and strengthening those up. There's that old adage, isn't there, that says an apple a day keeps the doctor away, and there's some real depth and meaning in that, and it is so true that they do bring such good health and vitality. So if you've got some wild apples growing near you, I encourage you to get out and pick them and work with them. So I hope you've enjoyed that little foray into our local hedgerows to see what lovely hedgerow fruits are available at the moment. If you'd like to learn more, I do run an online course with another herbalist. It's called weedsandwildmedicine.co.uk, so check us out, we'd love to see you on there. So now we're going to head back to my herbal practice in Earby to do some medicine making. The fun now really begins. We're going to make an elderberry rob or syrup, and we're going to make a hedgerow cider vinegar.